What's up, everybody? It's D's World, and I gotta talk about some boxing right now. Now, I'm gonna put my top five boxers of all time, in my opinion, and let's see if you guys like it or not. Hit me in the comments, man, because everybody has their own opinion. Because who's the greatest of all time? All right. Now, I'm not gonna go from like one, two, three, four, five like that. I'm just gonna put all of them as one, like the same kind of equal to my opinion. All right. Now, number one, I'm just gonna start right here. The first one I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say Muhammad Ali. I'm gonna put him right there. He's as a heavyweight. He can move. He can do all that kind of stuff. He beat some great fighters in their prime. Nobody basically couldn't beat him at all before, when he went to prison, came out, and took what 3 4 years in his prime, came back, won again. Lost a couple times, but he still fought against the greatest fighters the whole time. Yes, he lost a couple times, but that's what great fighters want to do. Fight the greatest of all time, and he always want to fight the greatest, even when he was old too. Okay, so I put him right there in the top five. Okay, now second, I'm gonna say Julio Cesar Chavez Senior. All right, senior, not junior. Don't say junior, senior. Okay. Now let's think about him, man. I was, from Mexico. He's probably the biggest or the best all around um, Mexican boxer of all time. Okay. Now you could put with what's his name Sanchez, but the thing is Sanchez had a short career because his car crash. If he probably when I got injured, he probably would be over there too, in my opinion, because he could do everything. But Chavez, what he had around almost 90 fights until he had his first loss. And yeah, man, it's just people always just want to hate about a lot of stuff like, oh, he won against a lot of tomato cans. You probably say that though, but like, come on, man. When you're having maybe like three champion fights a year, and let's say you want to be active, he used to do that. He used to knock somebody out or won this into a title fight, and then he would like fight maybe a couple of weeks or a month, something like that, and go against somebody else in Mexico. And so you can stay active all the time. And that's what you want to do all the time, be active. So he was active the whole time. Going against, keep going, keep going, keep going. That's why he has over 100 fights too. I think it's like 110 or something like that. So, anyways, maybe it might be more than that, but yeah, that's a lot of fights he did, man. So I put him on the top five. Now I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna get Sugar Ray Robertson. I'm gonna put him right there too. In his time, there was just one belt. I mean, there was the lineal champion, but he at his time there's only just one belt, all right? And him, I think the first time he had his first 20 fights, he had one loss, and then he had what 70 fights or more or something like that until he had his second loss. Man, and at the time there's only just one belt at the time. And this dude, man, he won multiple Hall of Famers like that was in their prime. Just like when you say right there too, Chavez, he won people too that was in the prime, and then when he was out of prime, he still tried. Like for Chavez, he tried to find Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya was the young guy. He did put them hands on him crazy, but even though he was 33, 34, something like that, but that's a lot of fights right there. So he wasn't the same person. But go back to Sugar Ray Robertson. Man, he keep on fighting and fighting. Went over, then he went overseas. He fought all the fighters over there. He fought a lot of Hall of Famers. And at the time, like I said, one belt at the time. So you have to put him right there at the top five to me. All right. Now for me, this is my next one right there. I'm gonna say hands of stone, Roberto Duran. Now this guy started at 135. He can hurt people with a punch all the way to 175. Not just a punch, but his skills too. He got the skills. He could do everything basically, especially with the punch. Man, it's like he got that one punch that puts you to sleep. And he beat first time he's the first one. Oh, snap some. He's the first one that beats Sugar Ray Leonard, when he was in his prime, and he came up 2 weight class and went against him and he beat him. Now we could talk about the second fight, but to me, in my opinion, I think that he didn't train like he did the first fight. So I think yeah, man. Maybe it could have been like a dive. We don't know, man, because he didn't look the same thing. I think he just party went crazy, and then he's just thinking like, oh man, I'm trying to chill. But I mean, that is a excuse in a way. But you can just see the fight. It's not the same person it was. Because I think that because he didn't beat him up, he was not beating him up at all. If you watch the fight, he's just like stick and move, and then he just like trying to catch him, but just getting irritated because like, man, he can't hurt me. It's just like stupid. So, but then he came all the way up. He got knocked out. The only one I remember he got knocked out was the Hitman. All right, but he went against Haggard. Well, he went against Haggard, Haynes, all of them, all the greatest ones. When he's the smallest one right there, he came all the way to like 168 to 175 right there, and he got to compete the whole time. So I put him right there, the top 5 for me too. Now the last one, it might be. It shouldn't even be a controversial or shouldn't be some debate for me, man. I don't know why people get crazy about this, but I would say Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. He is the top 5 of a boxer of all time. Now, like, if you're seeing people talk about that, he was a lineal champion at flyweight. Like, what is that? Like 106. Then he came all the way to a contender for what? Over, I would say, was it 15, 14, whatever it was, 14 years, 13, 14 years right there as welterweight. And remember, he did move up, and he like didn't go one of weight class. He doubled one of them, so he could have probably been about a 9 different champions. Not 9 different weight class champion too. But Manny Pacquiao was nice, man. That's why I don't know why people are try to hate, like, oh, he got knocked out. It's like, yeah, the man, but that's what you do. You go against the best and the best and the best. That's what you want to do. That's what he did all the time. He had to be. Look, I'm mixed, okay? I said this before. I'm Mexican, Filipino, and white. All right. Now I'm going to say that Pacquiao, though, when I first started with Pacquiao, right? When I first seen him, I was really young, maybe around 11 years old or 12. I was first fight when he came from America and went against that guy from Africa. Man, he put hands on him. And then after that, he went against Barrera. Barrera was a beast. He was a beast. He just beat up, what's his name? Prince. And he smacked him bad. And then like a year later, Pacquiao just smoked him bad. And then he went against Morales. Now that was my favorite fighter when in the late 90s and the early 2000s. So I was cheering for him the first time, and when he beat Pacquiao, I was like, ooh. But I like Pacquiao because he's like a humble person. He was not really speaking English at the time, but he was trying to. Second fight, he knocked him out. Third one, he knocked him out. Then he beat Barrera. Then Morales. They had 4 fights. All these Hall of Famers he went against. He fought him multiple times. Timothy Bradley. He's in the Hall of Fame, right? They fought 3 times. Even though I really believe that he won all 3. But anyways, they give him that first one with that draw. Oh no, not the draw. They give him the win, and that was crazy. That was a robbery. And all these other people that might be Hall of Famers after, but you got Oscar De La Hoya. People's gonna hate like, well, he was old, but think about this. Pacquiao was at 130. Okay, he barely came out to 135, and he knocked out, I think it is Diaz. He knocked him out, or TKO, and maybe about 6-7 months later, that's when Oscar De La Hoya, remember when he lost to Mayweather, and they're thinking about to have a rematch at 147 because their fight they did it was at 154, and Mayweather he fought against Ricky Hatton, and he knocked him out, and then he retired. So that's when Oscar De La Hoya he's like, man, trying to get more money. Pacquiao was at the time Pacquiao all the like flyweights and all those other fighters right there. He was getting the most pay-per-views right there for the lower class. I mean, lower class. So Pacquiao, he came over there and he did something that everybody thought that he was gonna get beat up bad, but he just put those crazy hands on him, man, and then just keep going up and going against Cotto, going against Margarita, go against shoot, who else did he fight? Oh, everybody else, man. Now, hit me in the comments, tell me what you think now. Your top 5. I know people's going to be like, Mayweather top 5 or something. Now, Mayweather was one of the greatest fighters of all time, man. But I just feel his second career, it was all about business. He wasn't trying to fight the best person at that time, He was kind of waiting. That's why he retired like 2 times when that division at the time, welterweight, it was so stacked. He could have fought against Paul Williams. He could have fought against Prime, or not Prime, but undefeated Cotto. He could have fought against Cloudy. I don't know. He could have fought some other people, man. But he just, I don't know. He always just keep retired like 2 times right there until the 3rd time he was done. Even his last fight, before McGregor, he was supposed to fight against Thurman. When Thurman was undefeated, he was knocking people out. He wasn't a champion yet, but he's supposed to fight against him. And he going against Berto when Berto was taking L's like back to back to back all the time for like champions right there. So, yeah, like look at Pacquiao, his last fight, he's supposed to get in Spence. But then, got the injury and whatever. He got injured and Pacquiao lost, but he still tried he was still trying to see his legacy, to trying to get better and be the best man he can. He still wants to fight now. Hopefully he don't, because if he does, just do it just for fun, exhibition or something now, because it's been a while. But anyways, man, that's crazy. But anyways, hit me in the comments. Tell me who you think the top 5 all time. What you think? We could talk about Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. I won't put him top 5 or something. He's somewhere over there. Actually, I put Bernard Hopkins over him. And then let's see. Man, there's just so many boxers too, man, everywhere. But hit me in the comments, man. Alright. It's D's World. Like, subscribe, show love. Alright, peace.